This is the Crical Pro. It is $129 on Amazon, and it has a $10 off coupon, bringing the total price to $109 before taxes. The model is called Crical Upgrade Pro-1. Make sure to get that one and not any other ones. I'll cover why later in the video. It was very well packaged. There was no shipping damage. Here's some close-ups of the cue. It's a satin finish. Everything on the cue is a decal. The tip is a perfect shape. The logo is laser etched. The joint is a radial thread. The butt is a satin finish. The finish is not sticky like it is on a wrapless cue, so the cue can actually slide through your hands during the stroke. The joint pin is a radial, and you see the joint face is dirty. The joint is the looser style radial pin, not the genuine unilock that's a bit tighter. It's perfectly flush. The butt is perfectly straight. The shaft has a very minor wobble. I'd say about 2 pieces of paper put together, that thickness of wobble. So almost nothing. The shaft and the butt together are straight. Just the aforementioned tiny wobble on the shaft is slightly visible. The entire cue together weighs 19.00 ounces. The shaft by itself weighs 3.90 ounces. The butt by itself weighs 15.15 ounces. Not counting the tip or the rubber bumper, the cue is 29 1/16 inches at the joint and 58 1/8 inches at the butt cap. The balance point is 38 inches from the tip or 20 inches from the bumper. That's a hair more forward than a typical cue. I measured the taper every 4 inches. Here are the results. The tip accepts talum chalk well. Caution, do not buy the model labeled CL-01. The taper is horrible on it. That's the top cue in this picture. Here you can see the taper, how fat it gets in the stroking portion. 12.3, 12.3, they're both the same at the tip. At 12 inches back, 12.44 versus 14.31. At 16 inches back, it's 13.63 versus 15.58. So stay away from this shaft. It is like a tree trunk going through your bridge hand. That other cue is this model here. I actually liked this better when I saw it on Amazon, but it's unusable in my opinion because of the taper. This cue here, the taper is very nice. Anyone would be happy with it. Back to the Amazon page, if you look where it says color CL-01, every time you hover over a different option, it will have a different code there. It is my theory the ones that have the word Pro when you hover over them will have the good shaft, and the ones that do not have the word Pro, such as this one, which only has CL-01, will have the tree trunk shaft. I don't know this is fact. This is just my theory after purchasing 2 of these cues. I haven't hit a ball with this shaft. This will be the first hit. It's very smooth and slippery. The shaft and the butt actually both feel really smooth. So that might be too smooth for some people. makes a nice sound when you hit. Draws the ball no problem. The tip is very well shaped. It's a nice shape. No problem spinning the ball. So it definitely deflects more than a Predator. I missed a few shots like that and I hit that really fat. See, that went in, but it went into the very outside of the pocket. So if you're used to the deflection of a Predator shaft, this is no good for you. But if you're used to a normal deflection wood shaft, I would say this has less deflection than that. So if this is the first time you're coming to carbon fiber and you're coming from a regular wood shaft, I'd say this is nice. Yeah, the hit feels really good. No problems there. The taper feels excellent. I like the sound it makes. I know I already said that, but that matters to some players. Even that one, it went to the outside of the pocket. Yeah, I keep hitting them fat because I'm used to the aim on the Predator shot. I'm aimed this a little bit thinner now. And it goes in. The tip also takes the chalk really well. Some tips, you put the chalk on, it doesn't really go on well, but this is really nice. So I'm aiming this thinner than I normally do. And it goes in the middle of the pocket. Thinner than I normally do. And in the middle of the pocket. That really squirted bad on me. Wow, yeah, that deflects a lot. Yeah. Here's my Revo. And it goes right in the middle. Here's what I've been playing with for the past couple of years. Is a Predator Revo. And I've been in the Predator family since the mid-1990s. I had the 314s and the Zs. So in my opinion, the 314s, the Zs, the Revos, they all aim exactly the same or very, very close. Any other shaft I've tried over the years, they're all excellent shafts, but they deflected more. So I put this shaft into that category. I think it's a really nice shaft. I think it's an excellent value. But if you're coming from a super low deflection Revo or 314, this will not do you justice. If you're coming from any other shaft, this shaft is probably really nice. So if you're a beginner, this is a great buy. It was only $120, I think, with taxes and shipping. And if you just want something to leave in your car and you're an experienced player, this is probably also fine. If you're not used to the aim of the Predator, I'd say this is great. If you're used to the aim of the Predator, do not get this. Thanks for watching.